Welcome to the second part of the story. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. Let's dive into the video. When Kem knocked, his distorted shadow fell long across her doorway, a reflection of the curse he carried. Her voice was sharp when she spoke, her exhaustion laced with indignation. What do you want, Kem? He fell to his knees, his elongated mouth trembling as tears ran down his cheeks. I wronged you, Ifeoma. I spread lies about you, and the spirits have cursed me. I beg for your forgiveness. Only you can save me. For a long moment, Ifeoma said nothing, her eyes scanning the pitiful sight before her. Then, with a sigh that carried both weariness and pity, she replied, Forgiveness is not given freely, Kem. It is earned. If you are truly sorry, you must prove it, not to me alone, but to everyone you have hurt. Her words were more damning than the oracles. She gave him a trial, to repair her abandoned fruit stall, a symbol of her broken livelihood. Over the next few days, Nkem worked tirelessly. His hands, once quick to carve gossip, now shaped wood with purpose. Villagers watched in hushed curiosity. The man who had once stirred trouble now labored in silence, his pride stripped away like bark from a tree. But as the days stretched on, so too did his mouth. Each inch was a reminder that his journey was far from over. The question lingered, could Nkem truly undo the damage his words had wrought, or would the curse consume him before redemption found him? As Ifeoma's fruit stall began to bloom with life once more, the villagers couldn't help but notice the changes in Kem. No longer the boastful carpenter, he now moved with quiet purpose, his elongated mouth a constant, grotesque reminder of his transgressions. But Nkem knew actions alone wouldn't be enough. He had to reclaim what his words had shattered, not only the widow's dignity but the trust of an entire village. One morning, Nkem climbed atop the steps of the market square, the place where his rumors had first taken root. The villagers paused their chores, turning their gaze to the man they had once feared for his sharp tongue. His voice, strained but steady, carried across the square. I have sinned against this village, he began, his elongated mouth amplifying the gravity of his confession. I used my words as weapons, cutting down those I should have uplifted. Ifeoma was my victim, but I know she was not the only one. He swallowed hard, his voice breaking. Today, I ask not just for her forgiveness but for yours. I will work every day to mend what I've broken. The villagers murmured among themselves. Some admired his courage, others, still stung by his past cruelty, turned away. Nkem's shame was palpable, but he remained resolute, refusing to let ridicule deter him. Each sneer, each mocking whisper was a mirror of the pain he had inflicted on others. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ifeoma stood waiting for Nkem outside his workshop. You've begun to stitch the wounds you created, she said, her voice softer than he'd ever heard. But redemption is a journey, not a single step. Tomorrow, you'll take the next one. Nkem's second trial was as daunting as the first. Ifeoma commanded him to face those he had wronged, not with a general apology, but with personal atonement. You will visit every home your words have scarred, she told him. You will look into their eyes, listen to their pain, and ask for forgiveness. His first stop was Adebi's farm, the air around her home thick with unspoken bitterness. Adebi, a resilient farmer whose family had nearly been ruined by Nkem's lies, greeted him at the door with a cold glare. Why are you here? She demanded, her voice cutting through the stillness. I'm here to make amends, Nkem said, his elongated mouth trembling as he spoke. I spread a lie about you, and it caused your family great harm. I can't change what I did, but I beg for your forgiveness. Adebi's hands trembled at her sides. Do you know what your words cost us? She spat. We were shunned. My children went hungry. Apologies don't fill empty stomachs, Nkem. He dropped to his knees, his grotesque mouth nearly brushing the dirt. You're right. Words can't undo what I've done. But I'll work to make it right. Let me help your family prepare the fields. I will do anything to repair the damage I caused. Adeabi stared at him for a long moment before sighing, her anger softening. If you're serious, be here tomorrow at dawn. There's no room for empty promises on this farm. This scene repeated itself across Umidike. At each door he knocked on, Nkem was met with anger, sorrow, and, occasionally, disbelief. For every harsh word thrown at him, he offered humble apologies and promises of hard labor. Slowly, painfully, he began to rebuild the bridges he had burned. By the week's end, Nkem was physically and emotionally exhausted. Yet, for the first time, he felt lighter. The villagers' skepticism began to waver, replaced by cautious respect. Still, his mouth continued to grow, a relentless reminder of the work left to be done. Ifeoma, watching his progress, set one final trial before him. She sent him to the ancient baobab tree on the village's edge, a place where truth and wisdom were said to reside. You've confronted those you've wronged, she said. Now, it's time to confront yourself. The tree stood like a sentinel against the horizon, its roots clawing into the earth with the wisdom of centuries. Beneath its canopy, Nkem felt the weight of his journey settle on him. He knelt at its base, his grotesque mouth aching as he whispered to the wind. Memories of his misdeeds swirled in his mind, the laughter he had stolen, the tears he had caused. The wind began to howl, weaving through the branches like a song of judgment. In its voice, Nkem heard the oracle's words once more, your tongue was a blade. Now it is a burden. To be free, you must wield it with purpose. As tears streamed down his face, Nkem whispered into the silence, I see now. My words can hurt, but they can heal too. I will use them wisely. At that moment, the baobab's trunk shimmered, revealing a pool of water within its hollow. When Nkem peered into its depths, he didn't see the man he was, but the man he could be, a man whose mouth was not a curse but a tool for truth. Renewed, Nkem returned to Umidike, his heart burdened still by the curse but lifted by hope. The villagers, once wary, now rallied behind him as he organized a communal effort to repair the market square. For the first time, his words inspired unity instead of division. On the day of the market's reopening, Nkem stood before the villagers, his elongated mouth still visible but no longer a symbol of shame. I was careless with my words, he said, his voice steady. But I have learned they can build bridges as easily as they burn them. I ask for your forgiveness and your trust as I continue this journey. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share. See you in my next video.